Hello everyone, welcome to yet another lecture on sentence correction. This lecture is based on subject-verb agreement, which would mean that in any sentence the subject and the verb have to agree with each other when it comes to their numbers. Numbers would mean singular or plural. If the subject is singular, the verb also has to be singular, and if the subject is plural, the subject that we will be using in that sentence will also be plural. Aaron, together with his wife, dash the guests of the party. Now, Aaron, together with his wife, the moment we spot the words or phrases like with, together with, along with, accompanied by, and as well as, we need to identify such words and we need to put them within the bracket. So, in a sentence, if you spot these words, you place a bracket before the word that is here. For example, it will be you place a bracket here before together, and then the subject or the subjects that follow these kind of words, with, together with, along with, as well as, accompanied by, all the subjects or a single subject that follows these words, you will have to put the subject or the subjects again within the bracket. You close the bracket after all the subjects that are written after these words, and then you're only and only left with one subject, which is here Aaron. Aaron, because this Aaron is a singular verb, is a singular subject, therefore the noun that we use will be singular. So Aaron greets the guests of the party will be the sentence. Second, the jury dash not convinced. Now you have this word jury. The moment that you spot any collective noun in any sentence, we have to understand that whenever there is a collective noun, we need to know that what is the outcome of that particular collective noun, what is the output, what is the inference, what is the opinion, approach, perception that is coming out of that particular collective noun. If that collective noun gives out single idea, single output, single approach, that collective noun is treated as a singular entity. But if that collective noun is not giving a single or a unanimous decision, we have multiple or difference in the opinion of the people that make that particular collective noun, or the things that make that collective noun. In that case, we will refer to its individual members, because we are referring to individual members. So in that case, it will be treated as a plural entity. Now we'll read the sentence again. It says the jury dash not convinced. Not convinced means on a certain topic that the jury had to decide on something. For example, if there were 5 people in that bench, the jury, so this jury of 5 people, maybe 2 had one kind of an opinion and the rest, the 3, had some other. Now we have, say, 2 opinions coming out. Because we have 2 opinions coming out, therefore we'll treat this jury, which is a collective noun, as a plural entity. Because it is a plural subject, the verb that we use will also be plural, were. The truthful dash always trustworthy. Now see, the other way that we can write the sentence is truthful people dash always trustworthy. If we decide to remove this people, in that case, we will have to use the article the. So this the truthful would mean that we are talking about people. This truthful is an adjective. Before an adjective, if we are placing any article the, that means that here it is replacing a collective, a plural noun. So truthful people. So truthful people, in place of people we've written the. So the truthful dash always trustworthy would mean people is plural, therefore the verb that we place also has to be plural, are always trustworthy. To cry dash never the solution to any problems. To cry singular, everything here seems to be singular. The verb that we place will also be singular. So to cry is never the solution to any problems. A number of soldiers dash injured during the war. Now, the moment you have the word number in any sentence, please notice the usage of article with it. If it is a, would mean that the noun that follows will be considered. A number of soldiers. Soldiers happens to be a plural entity, plural noun, plural subject. Therefore, the verb that follows will be plural also. A number of soldiers were injured during the war. The number of deceased soldiers dash not stored in the record book. Now, whenever you have the word number and it follows the article the, in that case, this number becomes the subject and not the noun. Therefore, here we are not talking about the deceased soldiers. We are talking about the number of such soldiers. Therefore, because the number is singular, therefore we'll be using a singular verb, which is here. The number of deceased soldiers is not stored in the record book. A pack of lions dash approaching the camps. Because it is pack, a collective noun. Collective noun usually when we have a common kind of a approach, we'll use it as a singular entity. Therefore, a pack of lions was approaching the camp, is approaching the camp, any of the verb that you can use. Killing dash not always considered a bad thing. Killing was not always considered a bad thing. Killing is not always considered a bad thing. Why? Because killing here is acting as a gerund. It is acting as a non-finite verb, which means that even if you change the number or you change the tense of this particular sentence, the word killing will not change. Killing is acting, it is a verb, ing ending verb, which is acting as a noun. Because here killing is acting as a gerund, with gerunds we'll use the singular noun because it is then acting as an activity. So killing is or was not always considered a bad thing. There dash many difficulties regarding the situation. There dash many difficulties. Difficulties plural, therefore the verb that comes will be plural. There were many difficulties regarding the situation. Either she or her friends responsible for this accident. Now either and or, the pair is used, we'll have to notice the subject that follows such words. After either we're using she and after or we're using her friends. So this is the first thing for such sentences that you will see that what is the subject used. Subject, the first subject is she and the second subject is her friends. Now we need to find out where do we have to place the verb. Is it after the first subject or is it after the second subject? Because here in this sentence the verb that we need to place comes after the second subject and second subject happens to be a plural. Therefore, the verb that we place also will be plural. So either she or her friends are responsible or were responsible for this accident. Had it been either her friends or she dash responsible, now because we need to place the verb before after she, which is singular, we would have used is or was. So either her friends or she was responsible, is responsible, both. But we need to notice two things when you're using pairs. One, what is the subject one? What is the subject two? Second, where do we need to place the verb? Is it after the subject one or after the subject two? Depending upon the number of that subject, you will have to place the verb. Neither me nor my parents aware of the incident. Again, parents were aware. None of them dash able to solve this question. None of them. None of them, them means plural, therefore were able to. $85 dash what it would cost to buy the new Pixel phone. So $85 dash what it would cost. We were talking referring to the price. Therefore, is $85 is what it would cost. A pair of trousers dash all that I brought along. So a pair of trousers. Now, had it been only trousers, we would have used a plural. But then because it is pair, So pair is treated as a singular entity. A pair of trousers is all that I brought along. Everything dash fine when it's done correctly. Everything, everything, everyone, everybody. Such words, when used as a subject, we'll always be using a singular verb. Therefore, everything works. Singular verb means it ends with an S. Please remember that when you have a subject and you have a verb that has to be that have to be placed together and have to agree with each other, there will only be a single S. Would mean that if the subject has an S, the verb will not have the S. If the subject does not have an S, the verb will definitely end with an S. Therefore, everything, because it is singular, we'll have S ending verb which is works. Ronaldo and Messi dash the greatest football players of the 21st century. Because we're living in 21st century, therefore we'll be putting this particular thing as are. So Ronaldo and Messi. You could always had written were, but because we're talking of the current times, therefore it will be are and not were. But anyways, because we have two subjects, Ronaldo and Messi, and we joined them using the word and, therefore it will always take a plural verb, either are or were. Now because we're living in 21st century and we're referring about the same, therefore it is are and not were. Man and woman dash complementary to each other, because man is one, woman is another. Both are singular subjects joined together using the word and will take plural verb. So are. Man and woman are complementary to each other. A dictionary and an atlas dash missing from the library. So here one dictionary is missing and one atlas is missing. There are two books that are missing, because we are joining these two singular subjects using the word and. Therefore, again the blank will take a plural verb are. A dictionary and an atlas are missing from the library. You can always change the tense to have been missing from the library. The leader as well as his brothers dash to the same tribe. Now the leader as well as his brothers. We've spotted as well as. We will start placing our bracket here and close the bracket after the subject that follows, and this entire thing will now be ignored. You will not read this, you will not consider this, you will only be reading the subject that is placed before, with, along with, as well as, accompanied by, together with. We have leader. Leader is singular. The word that comes, the verb that comes will be singular. So the leader as well as his brothers dash to the same tribe. The leader belongs to the same tribe. Cat and dogs dash not get along. So cats and dogs, two plural subjects joined together using the word and, will definitely take a plural verb. Therefore, do. Cats and dogs do not get along. The brothers as well as their sister dash good at studies. Now again, there is as well as. So I will start my bracket from here and close the bracket here, and that means I have put this entire thing within the bracket. This is ignored now, as well as their sister. So because this is to be ignored now, we'll notice the subject that is placed before these words like as well as, etc. So the brothers, plural, will take a plural verb. So the brothers are good at their studies, are good at. The students accompanied by their teacher dash gone on a picnic. So again, the students accompanied by, I will start my bracket from here, accompanied, and close it here, put this entire thing within the bracket, ignoring them, considering them as hidden, means it is not to be considered while you're placing the verb. Only the subject that is placed before the word accompanied by will be taken into consideration, which is students, which is a plural subject. Therefore, the verb that follows will be plural. The students have gone on a picnic. A lot of houses dash collapsed in the storm. Lot of houses, again, because it is houses, it will be have. A lot of houses have collapsed in the storm. The children as well as their mother dash missing. Again, I will start placing my bracket before as, close it after mother. This entire thing now for me is not to be considered, as well as their mother. I am only left with the children. Children is plural. Verb that comes will be plural. The children are missing, have been missing, anything, but it should have a plural verb. A large sum of money dash stolen. A large sum of money. So we are talking of sum is singular, therefore was stolen. A large sum of money was stolen. His pants dash torn during the match. So his pants, pants, plural. Verb will be plural. His pants were torn. Tweezers dash always useful. Again, tweezers have two extremities. Therefore, will be treated as a plural entity. Therefore, it will be are always useful. The International Club as well as the Choral Society and the Rowing Club dash to submit a new constitution. Now again, I will start placing my bracket from here as well as, and all the subjects that follow as well as the choral society and the rowing club, I will place the closure of this bracket here. Now one subject that we have is international club, second subject that we have is choral society, third subject that we have is the rowing club. Because the second and the third club subjects, which are choral society and rowing club, these are placed after the phrase as well as. Therefore, both these subjects will be put within the bracket, within the parenthesis, and we'll treat the entire phrase now as well as the choral society and the rowing club as parenthetical. We'll ignore it. We'll only be considering the number of this particular subject, the international club, which is singular, therefore will take a singular verb. The international club needs to submit a new constitution. With this, we come to the end of this video lecture. I hope the subject verb agreement is clear to you now. We have to remember a few rules. We need to first identify the subjects, then identify the number of the subject, whether the number of the subject is singular or plural. If the subject is singular, the verb that follows will be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb that follows will also be plural. Also, if you're using pairs, then you may have both singular subjects, you may have one singular or one plural subject, or you may also have both plural subjects. So depending upon the place where you need to place your verb, you will have to decide the verb that you will use, which would mean that the verb and the subject agree in person, and the verb always agrees in person with the subject that is placed closest to it. So if the verb that has to be placed is close to a singular noun or singular subject, the verb will be singular. If it has to be placed near the plural subject, it has to be plural. So with this, the lecture comes to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Hope your concepts of subject verb agreement are clear now. Thank you so much.